In 1822, a man died and with him the secret of where over $40 million worth of treasure was buried. Or was it? What if the secret was left behind in 3 cryptic ciphers? That's what we're talking about today. This is a series about mystery history stories that are scary, strange, or just really bizarre. And this one is all of the above, so stick around. A man named Thomas J. Beale died in 1822. He'd been a civil engineer who worked on some of the earliest canals in Virginia, including the one that bears his name. But in the year he died, he had recently moved to Kentucky and had been working on a road project there when he became ill and died. Before he kicked the bucket, though, he left something very strange. He left behind 3 ciphers, 3 codes that supposedly led to buried treasure in North Carolina. There was one for where the treasure was buried, and 2 others that held the key to deciphering the first one. So you might be thinking this sounds like a fun little pirate story. Well, not quite. See, the treasure in question was no small potatoes. According to legend, it was worth over $40 million in today's money. And it was left behind by none other than Blackbeard, the infamous pirate. Okay, so maybe that's not such a far-fetched idea. Well, I don't know. What do you think? Anyway, before he died, Beale entrusted these ciphers to a friend of his named John Smith. He gave them to him along with a map and told him to keep everything safe until after he was dead. And for a while, things went according to plan. Smith kept the map and ciphers hidden away until 1885, 63 years after Beale's death. But then he decided to try to decipher the codes himself and failed. So he showed them to somebody else who failed. And then they showed it to somebody else who also failed. And that's why today we have people trying to solve them still. They've been unsolved for over 135 years. But here's the thing. A lot of people have tried to solve these codes, and most of them agree that they couldn't be solved. But a few have come forward claiming that they actually have. In 1922, a man named J.C. Hotchkiss came forward saying that he'd solved one of the ciphers, and that it said, quote, the first place one letter from the end of the alphabet, 16, 13, 9, 21, 17. He said that he'd already found the treasure at that location, which was near where Beale was buried, but that it had been stolen. Later on, in the 1970s, another man named Robert S. Thomas came forward saying that he'd solved the cipher that Hotchkiss had found. And apparently what it said was, quote, this is the correct spot, dig here. But Hotchkiss's and Thomas's treasure never saw a dime. And neither did anyone else who came forward with a solution. So this brings us to the question, are the Beale ciphers real? Is the treasure real? And were Blackbeard and Thomas Beale actually connected? Well, I don't know. It's hard to say. There are a lot of conflicting stories about both Beale's life and the ciphers themselves. For example, there's a story that says that after Beale died, his widow took the map and treasure and hid it herself, changing the location of the treasure or even digging it up entirely. Then there's the fact that the third cipher, which is supposed to hold the key to the whole thing, has never been seen. It's not known if it was lost or destroyed or what happened to it. And that's not even mentioning the ciphers themselves. Most people who've looked at them have agreed that they just can't be solved. They're too difficult, or they don't make sense, or there's just too many variables. And there's really no way to know how many people have actually seen the ciphers either. Maybe they're not real at all. Maybe they were made up by somebody who wanted to fool people. Or maybe, just maybe, they are real and they lead to real treasure. What do you think? Let me know down below. Also, be sure to follow my channel, Bizarre Bureau, if you haven't already. I post new videos every Wednesday and Saturday. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.